Traditional rituals associated with Anzac Day have transformed a simple memorial service into a popular civil religion within Australian society, providing people who are often separated by diversity with a common set of beliefs and ideologies that they can apply to modern life. Civil religion is defined as the folk religion of a nation, often involving ritual expressions of patriotism. It is frequently given merit by leaders within a society, for example, religious references relating to patriotic holidays. Australia's iconic Anzac Day, being judged by this criteria, qualifies as a civil religion. It involves many rituals, represents patriotism, is given merit by leaders, and is a national public holiday. The following is a clip from the Anzac Day dawn service at Woombai.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Let's sing the hymn, O God, our help, in ages past.
Anzac Day is one of the most ritualistic events in modern Australia. The service is essentially a military funeral, which is similar to the practice still followed by the Australian Army today. However, the Anzac Day service has developed over the years to reflect changes in Australian society. The first Anzac Day in 1916 was commemorated by ceremonies and services throughout Australia, as well as a march through the streets of London and a sports day in the Australian camp in Egypt. By the mid-1930s, all the rituals associated with Anzac Day were firmly established in the culture of the day. However, in the 1960s, it was commonly believed that in later years, Anzac Day would die out altogether. Due to the Vietnam War, Anzac Day represented political division, but by the 1990s, it became a symbol of national unity. The commemoration on Anzac Day now encompasses the lives of all soldiers who have died in wars in Australian history. There are many factors that have influenced the growing popularity of Anzac Day. Many are of the view that Anzac Day is Australia's true, authentic national day. While Federation in 1901 and the arrival of the First Fleet in 1788, now celebrated with Australia Day, were important in shaping Australian culture, they lacked the holiness and sacredness that makes Anzac Day a civil religion. Yet one of the main influences in the increasing popularity placed on Anzac Day has been the decline of Christianity in contemporary Australia. Ritual is important in all cultures as it binds the community together. Where Christianity now excludes many, Anzac Day is entirely inclusive. A religious message has been replaced by themes of remembrance, service, and sacrifice, and members of the clergy have been replaced by service personnel in key roles at ceremonies. While Anzac Day itself is a ritual, there are many other rites performed within the day that contribute to its status as Australia's civil religion. Pilgrimage to Gallipoli has become increasingly popular, with crowds of up to 50,000 anticipated for 2015. Gallipoli has come to represent the birth of our nation. Because the landscape at Gallipoli has been so well preserved, it is easy to make connections between the past and the present, and a sense of intimacy can still be felt. Dawn services, marches, and ceremonies are popular rituals in Australia. While Gallipoli is the nation's sacred site, various memorials across Australia provide holy central meeting points for the community. There are also many rituals specific to the service, which loosely follow a set structure. These include prayers, speeches, hymns, laying wreaths, playing the last post and reveille, reciting the ode, singing the national anthem, lowering the flag to half-mast, and a minute's silence. The catafalque party, medals, and memorials are also symbolic. However, despite the popularity of Anzac Day, there are some who resist its positive impact on Australian culture. The Anzacs changed the way Australians were to view their past and their future, but some were of the view that a more upper-class Australia had been lost. Historians Henry Reynolds and Marilyn Lake dispute that Australia's spirit was formed in a war that became the main source of brutalisation of the 20th century. They also believe the war detracted from other achievements in Australian history, such as social justice, the living wage, and sexual and racial equality. Yet it is obvious today that this argument is invalid, as can be seen in the following interview. What do you think has been the most defining event that has shaped modern Australian culture throughout all our history?
I don't think it's necessarily the most defining, but I think one of the most defining events would be the day that Indigenous Australians were given the right to vote. I think that time sent a very clear message to all Australians that all people were created equal and should all have equal voice in their country.
However, even some supporters of Anzac Day believe that the Anzac legend now carries too many expectations and is weighed down trying to satisfy everybody, from traditionalists to the peace movement. Anzac Day has become a version of the big day out, with rock music, drinking, and overcrowding. Anzac Day is one of the most popular rituals in modern Australian society and has developed over the years to reflect changes in the culture. Unlike other religions, it is able to adjust to a society, which is one of its main attractions to unbelievers. Yet it also appeals to those within another religion and still has an underlying Christian message. It is unlikely that this civil religion will ever die out in Australian culture, as it is one of the few rituals that still provides an all-inclusive sense of community.